You got to view marketing as if you are fishing. Here's assignment number 1. I want you to write down right now, just on the side of your paper in your notebook, all the people that could buy from you. And then whoever wants to participate gets me to pick on them, okay? That's assignment number 1. I want to know what fish you are going after, okay? And hopefully they're distinguished. For example, I'm going after, you can write that down. Number 2, I want you to write down the media that you have been using to reach that particular market. And again, I'm not going to pick on all of you because of time, but if you want to participate. And number 3, I want you to write down the messages that you have been using to reach those people. While you're writing that down, when I was in Southern California, I made a list of all the companies that fit the profile of my marketing firm. And I put them in that suspect list. They didn't know me at all. Then I turned them into prospects, and I'll tell you how I did that in just a minute. You got to view fishing. You got to view marketing as like you're at Utah Lake. Who is a fisherman in this room that has fished Utah Lake? How many kind of fish are in Utah Lake? Do you know that, Tamara?
I don't know how many fish are in there, but I know I've caught at least 3 different kinds.
Yeah, I hear it. I did my homework on this. There's walleye. Is that how you say it? So you can tell the only fish I know is at McGrath's, but there's catfish, no bones either. There's largemouth bass, there's a black bullhead, bluegill, yellow perch, and the common carp. Didn't they just take out a bunch? They took out a bunch. Do you use the same hook, go down to number 2, the same reel for each one? You don't, do you?
I mean, a gill's like really small. A carp can be massive.
They're big buggers. You gotta apply this to what you're doing right now as you're trying to reach people. Okay, who would like me to pick on right now? I want somebody to list and has multiple markets. Who has multiple markets that should be buying their product? Who'd like to participate?
Pick on me, because this is my dilemma. You know, in the construction world, we are bid-based. You know, who's going to give me the lowest price? You know, if I'm the general contractor, if I'm the owner wanting to build a house, they go out and they look for the lowest price. Doesn't necessarily mean best value or quality, or because what I do normally is covered up with something else or someone else's work.
What do you do? Tell everybody what you do.
Okay, I demo old infrastructures as far as sewer, sewer lines, water lines, storm drain, whatever. Oh, and then I replace it with the new infrastructure.
Okay.
I dig footings.
Is it commercial or residential?
We are both. I have a little team that does residential when it comes through. But we, after my late husband passed away, we had, prior to his passing away, we had transitioned into a lot of the big box stores. We, after he passed away, I certified as a DBE with UDOT, UTA, and the airports. We did a huge industrial project out at the airport.
Okay, now you're going to simplify this for me and the room right here. I hear commercial, I hear residential, I hear government. Are these your 3 markets?
Pretty much.
Where does your money come from?
Wherever I can get it, because people don't want to pay
Okay.
their bills nowadays.
God has just come down and talked to you and said you got to choose one market because this is going to be the most profitable market for you.
Okay, so choose one market.
Yeah, what's your market?
Probably the commercial,
Okay, how much of your business comes from commercial right now? Is it half?
80%.
Okay. See, we're all like this. We're a little afraid to go out. We don't want to tell our neighbor that I can't do it anymore for you. You know, one of the best things that's going to happen to you is you say, I don't do this anymore and I don't do this anymore. That you go with you become In-N-Out Burger of excavation. You become a specialist in that particular area. See, when you go out marketing, I've been to your website, by the way, because you filled out the form and you revealed your company name. I didn't ask for anything else. Christine wouldn't give me anything else. I'll get your names by the time I'm done. I went to your website, and a lot of times when you go to your websites that you try to please everybody, you have a tab up there for commercial. You have a tab up there for government, a tab for residential, right? You may find benefit in being a specialist in a market because your message to the commercial is a whole lot different to the residential. You can't use the same website for both people. You can, but you don't want to. You don't want to. You want to have multiple tasks for what multiple websites or multiple approaches for what you're trying. Does this make sense? But see, the commercial guy doesn't care about the residential at all. It's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different mindset, and you've got to get into the fact that you're talking to one person. Right now, we're talking about suspects today. We're talking about the before the sale. If you're going to put an ad in the newspaper, let's say that you're going to use that medium, you got to be talking to one person who you want. You don't want to be like I had another client who did advertising. He was into multi-level marketing. By the way, if you're in multi-level marketing, that's fine, but this guy's approach was wrong. He had me create a brochure for his Tahitian Noni company, and the headline said, "We have cures for cancer, diabetes, warts, sex life, and everything else that's alien in your life." Now, this Tahitian Noni guy believed that claim. And if you're into multi-level marketing and these kind of formulas, they do have some really good health benefits. What is wrong with that headline, though?
It's all over the map.
Well, the FDA would come down on him pretty bad.
Yeah, but they do, and that's a very good point. He didn't care about the legal part of it. I'm talking about the communication part of it. See, you don't want to be Chuckarama, guys, where the choice is yours. You do not want to give the people that you're talking to a choice. The choice is not theirs. You've got to reach out. I'm going to go back to you, Jen, because you were daring enough to come up to me.
I'm here to learn.
Okay, here's the scoop. See, when you go out, you may want to consider a complete overhaul of the way that you sell. And when you're talking to the commercial people, only talk to the commercial people. Don't say, "Oh, and by the way, I do this and I do this. By the way, I do government and I do residential." People do that because they think, "Oh, I'm going to get a referral from that." Talk about what is on their mind right now. The old In-N-Out Burger approach where you're just talking about one thing. Okay, I'm going to choose somebody else. Who is using media right now? What media do you use? Who wants to participate? Tamara?
We're in a small community, so we're in Magna, and that really is a huge focus. And then we have a little bit in West Valley. And so
What media do you use out in Magna? Magna's small.
Yeah, they have their own little newspaper there,
Mm-hmm.
and so we advertise in that every other week. They do it bi-monthly.
What's the magazine they have, or publication now? What is it called?
Magna Times, and it's
The
written
Magna
by a lot of
Times is
people
still
out
around.
there. It just came back. It went away for a while, and it just came back.
Interesting, isn't it? Do you know why it's coming back? The internet. People still want that tangible stuff, and it works still.
Yeah.
It still works. What other media do you use?
What about Facebook? We started trying to post things on there. Banners around town. We do a lot of personal connecting.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. What works?
I don't know yet. That's what we're here for.
How long have you been doing your Magna ad? How many times have you run that ad?
Oh, twice a month.
And how many times is that? Have we done it at least 10 times yet?
Oh, easily.
But you can't look me in the eye and say, "Hey, Magna Times is a direct result of something that's happening in our business."
Yeah, we don't know yet, but we know that a lot of people are picking it up in our business. They take it, but yeah, no, that's why we're struggling.
That's
with
okay.
that.
No, this is not to make you feel bad. Marketing is kind of an art. Do you remember the movie The Da Vinci Code? Do you remember, what was was it a cryptex? Was that the thing? Codex? Who said that? You can throw your voice. I hear you over here. You're like everywhere. You're like an angel, Russell. I hear you everywhere. Do you remember that thing? And it had to be lined up properly. Do you remember that? That's marketing, believe it or not. Marketing is kind of my 6 M's. If you're marketing for the wrong reason, you're not going to get any results. If you want a good brand, go ahead and buy a full-page ad in the newspaper and say, "Hey, I'm marketing." I had a client like that. Believe it or not, about 5 years ago, Brooks Advertising, me, was the 5th largest advertiser in the Wall Street Journal because I had one client based in Beaver, Utah called the Mount Holly Club. They're in prison now, and they owe me money. Long story. We had a full-page ad of this beautiful brunette in the Wall Street Journal. "If you'd like to come to the Mount Holly Club and meet me, give me a call." I built the ads. It was totally branding. We can't do branding. We got to line up your message with your market, and the problem is you have no measurement device because your media is probably really wimpy. Your ad, I don't even know what it looks like, probably has your logo in there, and it may even throw in pictures of people in there, and you have little bullet points and things like that.
Oh my gosh, you been checking out our ad?
No, because people do that. I'm going to show you the best ad to do in just a minute. But anyway, enough on this page. Do you understand? You choose your market. You choose the most effective media, not the most expensive, but the media that works. and then you give them an irresistible message. That's all you have to do. Let's learn how to do it. Turn the page over. Page. Yeah, it's right on page 5 for you there, Jan. On page 5, you choose your market. Choose one. Choose one. Choose one at a time. When you're choosing one market, you're choosing one problem, one issue, one thing that's going on with them. I grew up in Hawaii. If I saw a billboard right now that says, we're having a sale on Hawaiian CD music right now at Barnes & Noble until 5 o'clock today, they're choosing one market, me. The rest of you would not care. They're talking to one person. Yes?
So is this like a market? So recently we started, like I realized that we have approximately 600 brand new first time ever patients that come to the clinic every month.
Okay, that's a market. Tell me more about them.
Okay, so I made these postcards. I went around and took pictures of each of the doctors with their assistant.
Okay.
And then I made a personal postcard that I send out specific to the patient that says, you know, it was really nice meeting you. And then on that backside it says, we'd love to care for your health care, and then I sign it.
Okay. There's only one thing missing off of
I don't know
that.
how to measure it. I don't know how to do
Yeah, sure you do. I'll tell you how right now.
Okay, please.
When you send out your marketing materials, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's an email, a postcard. Forget the media for right now. Keep in mind that somebody is going through a conversation in their mind when they get something in the postcard. They're standing above their garbage can, either in the garbage or not in the garbage. Okay? When they read the newspaper, I'm not going to read it or I am going to read it. You folks are spending more time during the day saying no than you are saying yes. This postcard comes along. The picture on the postcard is somebody that they know. They just had him. Nice touch. Okay? You need to add something more to that.
Well, I know there needs to be some kind of comeback somehow. I just, you know what you mean?
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to.
Okay, there needs to be something on there that they care about. See, right now the picture's all about the doctor. What would have been a better postcard is if you would have taken a picture and put their picture on the postcard. I know you may think, okay, I can't do that. Sure you can. You guys have cameras that takes I've never done this before. This is one thing that I've not tried. But can you imagine getting a postcard in the mail with your picture on there saying, hey, and a picture of you shaking hands with the doctor? That's even a better picture. Hey, we'd love you to come in today. I would somehow add an offer at the bottom. I don't know what I'd offer. A PS. Postscripts, by the way, are really red. And the postscript would say, listen, the next time you come in, make sure you ask for our rubber magnet. That's in the shape of a Band-Aid or something.
I knew that I needed to add it on, but we just can't agree on what it is yet.
Forget it. Okay, guys, I said this in the beginning. This is not brain surgery. You're dealing with people. People are very fickle. People are liars, and they can't help it. For example, and let me tell you what I mean by that. If you walk into an auto dealership and you go in there, automatically there is a theater of wits going on. The salesman wants to sell you, and you do not want to buy. And so there's this relationship going around. You remember the crab? What was the movie? Finding Nemo. You remember that? That's exactly what they're doing, is they don't want to deal with it. When you contact them, yes, hey, there's this defense that goes up. And what I'm saying with my philosophy here is you take an education-based approach. You get on their side of the table. Get into what is going into their mind. I'm trying to think of a book right now, and I will email it to you. I want your emails. I will not kill you with spam. I'm going to email you a book that you've got to get, and I can't remember it right now. It's a book about getting into the heads of somebody. There's this defense that's going on right now. When you get an ad, when a salesman approaches you, it's a defense. You need to get onto the side where you're understanding what's going on in their mind. People buy from you. Jan, they buy from you because you understand them. Not that you have the lowest price. This is Utah. We got to get away from the couponing. Don't know. You don't want people to call you up and say, hey, how much do you cost? We got to get away from that. That's education based. We're going to talk about that.